What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talk Hard Podcast. I am Brian Gordon. Damn it, Chris. I need to get a good intro, dude. I need your fucking help with this part. Be patient. I push myself to my limit. But what I have done is found trusted advisors. So my wife is my best trusted advisor. She knows everything about me. And I have given her full reign to say, hey, you're acting like a dick. I think you're working a little too hard. And when she says that, we have set the ground rules that means that I slow down. Period. Because if I am not in a space where I'm doing good for her or others around me, then what am I doing it for? So if I'm cranky and I'm serving you, is that something that you really want from me? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talk Hard Podcast. I am your host, Brian Gordon, and I am here today doing my best to provide you with educational knowledge that you can use in your life today. As we go down this series where I talk about change and how I created change in my life, and if you want to know where I was and where I'm at today, you can go back and watch the episodes before this and get a better idea of where we're at. I think we're on 3 or 4 now. But the first thing that I recommend and the first thing that I did when I began this ultimate transformation in my life and really started to create some long-lasting, sustainable change was I did a personal inventory. After the age of about 25, it becomes harder and harder to create change because from birth till about 25, your unconscious mind is being created. So I don't want that to discourage anybody that is watching that, because at 43, I can tell you I have completely transformed my life. So I started at 37. So 6 years now. Jeez, I'm getting old. All right. So anyways, personal inventory, and how do you create this? I recommend you get out a piece of paper and start writing down the thoughts that you know repeat themselves the most. Are they limiting beliefs? So for myself, when I first decided to make a change, the thoughts that were entering my head every day was, I'm not good enough. I need to do a lot more to pay back the shame and things that I caused and issues that I created in my life and in others. I need to just be willing to settle and understand that humble is the way to go. And shortly after that, I began to realize that selfishness and drive and all of these other things, when used properly and in their true form, can create amazing change. But what I needed to do first was build a list of all the things that were dragging me down. So I spent 37 years building up my inventory, okay? My inventory had a lot of ups and downs, failed marriages, failed relationships, failed businesses, good businesses. I've experienced a lot. And once I did that and dove deep into my inventory and started, just like a business, I started removing on the non-sellables, the ones that aren't serving the business. You're not good enough. That ain't gonna sell. You need to settle. That ain't gonna sell. And I started to recreate a new inventory, such as, I'm an amazing individual. These tattoos and this look will never keep me down. I was put on this earth for greatness. But before I could get to that point, I had to get to a spot where I could honestly remove the inventory that wasn't serving me and believe that I had a new inventory in place for it. But let's not overcomplicate the whole entire system. Let's just start with the basics. Start writing down your thoughts. Start to look for the patterns of thoughts that are not serving you, and then start to validate them. We need to check the data of our inventory. We need to understand what is going on in our business, in our mind. We need to gather the thoughts, feelings, and expectations that we have set for the world and create new in a way that serves me first. Because if I am serving myself first, the byproduct is I will always serve others. So, as you go through your inventory list and you start to validate your inventory, you need to look for the patterns that have lasted the longest, because these are going to be the hardest ones to change. And even today, although I have made leaps and bounds, I still have old inventory that I have to get out of the system. The whole purpose behind the inventory is to understand your thoughts and to understand what's going on inside of your mind and to get just honest with yourself. Most of the times we have these limiting beliefs that don't serve us, and more than oftentimes are not true. As you begin to dig into your inventory, you also need to pay attention to the things that do serve you. I have great friends. I have great family. I have a great marriage. I have a good job, or I just have a job. Let's not try to go from 0 to 1,000, because most of us underestimate what we can do in a decade and we overestimate what we can do in a year. So I'm 5 years into this, have created amazing change that has me very excited for the next 6 years for what's coming, because I've seen what I can do, but I know I still have somewhere to go. That is always the goal of any business model, to adapt, to change, to revolutionize. And I don't know about you, but I know I was put here for something great. I imagine if you're watching this channel, you believe that you also were put here for something great. You're just struggling to figure out what that is. So let's take an inventory. Let's write down our thoughts, good and bad. Let's look for the patterns of the thoughts that continue to repeat themselves, and then validate them in either way. If they're good, let's validate why they're good, and let's give ourselves a high five for that. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your victories. You woke up this morning. You are still going after life. You haven't settled yet if you're watching me. And I can tell you right now, I will never settle. There will never come a day in my life when I don't go for something more. And I'm not all about that whole rah, you gotta hustle your butt off. I'm just not. Mental health is important to me. I know what I get like when I do 16, 17-hour days, and it's not good for anybody around me. I am no longer serving others. So the path that will have the least resistance will be to dedicate 16 to 18 hours a day to busting your butt. There's a good chance you're gonna build a lot of trauma doing that if you can't handle that kind of pressure. So I'm work smarter, not harder. I don't have to work 16 hours a day. I found ways for me to serve others through things like this, to generate other forms of income. I've got 4 forms of income, currently working on creating up to 10 in the next 5 years. And then every time I create another form of income, it does not mean more work for me. This is income that works for me, not I for it. So as I am building out my future, I am being smart about it. I am being patient. I'm not trying to build a legacy in 1 year. It takes a lifetime to build a legacy. Be patient. I push myself to my limit, but what I have done is found trusted advisors. So my wife is my best trusted advisor. She knows everything about me, and I have given her full reign to say, hey, you're acting like a dick. I think you're working a little too hard. And when she says that, we have set the ground rules that means that I slow down. Period. Because if I am not in a space where I'm doing good for her or others around me, then what am I doing it for? So if I'm cranky and I'm serving you, is that something that you really want from me? Because when people are trying to do things for me and they're being a dick about it, it really bothers me. Like it feels personal, even though I know it's not. Like, what are you mad at me for? You could have just said no. So I'm in the work smarter, not harder category. If you want to go into the hustle harder forever and work your face off and do 20 hours a day, and that's the only way to build your business, cool. I don't believe that is the only way to success. I believe there is another way. However, my working harder just became different. I do more relaxing things like reading books, listening to podcasts. I feed my brain during my downtime. So technically I'm still working on me. I'm just not putting all this pressure and anticipation and all these things on it. See, I go every day after I have done my inventory for the things that I want for that day. And I don't put a time frame on them. Meaning, if I know I can get something done today, then I'm going to get it done. If I think I might, then I'm just going to plan for it today, and I'm going to give it my best. And then if I need to wrap it up tomorrow, then that's what I'll do. It's simple. I don't have time to worry and stress and freak out about things anymore because I just don't believe that's how life should be. I wake up joyous. I wake up feeling free. I wake up with purpose. And if you want to wake up that way too, then take an inventory. Find the thoughts that are serving you, latch onto them, put them on your vision board, find the ones that aren't serving you, and build a plan to replace them with things that do serve you. We need to validate their truth, and I mean really validate. If you're telling yourself you're not good enough and no one else is saying that to you, because, well, if they are saying that to you, then get some new fucking friends because they suck. But most of your thoughts that are not going to serve you are going to be, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to figure this out. You have to put yourself in a mindset first. You see, the law of attraction is a very real thing, but you have a lot of negative energy in your unconscious, which is what operates the majority of your day. And so if you can't reprogram your unconscious, which takes time, then you'll never be able to attract the things that you want. So if you are expecting something outside of you to create something different inside of you, you're going about it wrong. You have to know what that is going to be for you before you do it in order to enjoy it in the way that it was meant to be. This is why people that win the lotto go broke. Most of you just won $1 million. You don't want to be a millionaire, because the mindset that comes with being a millionaire is a lot of responsibility. You've got to know about your money. You've got to understand where things are. The banking system is different. Everything is different when you reach a certain level of income that completely changes the way you have to live your life on some level. And that's okay. But if you're not ready for it, when it gets there and you're still operating at your $80,000 a year income level, you're going to blow through that money and you're going to end up broke, because you're still living here. So you're going to spend till you come back down to where you currently are. So if you want to create abundance for your life, you have to believe that the abundance already exists for you and you're just letting the universe give it to you. This is what I do on a daily basis. In the morning, I check my inventory. How was yesterday? How do I feel today? Sometimes it's not good. There are days when I wake up and I'm just like, F the world. I got to go back to this damn job. I got to go deal with people that don't want to work. And I go into this negative loop and I have to check my inventory. Hold on. Who put you back on the shelf? You're not supposed to be here. So that by the time I arrive to work to serve the others that I serve as one of the leaders there, I need to be in the mindset, because attitude reflects leadership, right? So I have to check my inventory first. But the reality of it is that inventory is serving me first. And they just get to win because of it. They get to enjoy my attitude because I wanted to be in a good mood. And I wasn't going to let anything put me down. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me, and they win automatically. So now I am creating my future. I am creating what I want in my life. I am creating those things. And now I'm unstoppable. Because when you can create your own life and really understand the laws of attraction and how this whole entire thing works with the psycho-cybernetic loop patterns and all of these different things that we will dive really deep into. And if anybody out there is looking for more of a one-on-one, you can reach out to me, Brian, at gglifecoaching.com. That's GG for guided growth, lifecoaching.com. You can shoot me an email. We can schedule a consultation call and we can talk about what program might work best for you. What do you want out of your life? Who do you want to be when you wake up every morning? Who do you want to serve? How do you want to live? What does joy really mean to you? Happiness is a dopaminergic response to getting something done or getting something you want. Joy is a state of being that makes happiness this much better. But if you're out there and you've got all these negative beliefs, look at me. Look at me. I'm not a rock star. I'm not in a band. I'm not anything that would be stereotypical for a guy that looks like me. I'm not even a tattoo artist. I know how to tattoo, but that's not the point. I deal with multi-million-dollar people on a regular basis in their homes and in their businesses and in their practices. And the only time my tattoos ever come up is when we joke about the fact that when I first walked in, it looked a bit intimidating, and then people forget I have them. That's the power I have over people. Where after we talk for 10 minutes, you will forget about my tattoos, because my energy level, my law of attraction, what I give to the universe and what I'm creating for myself, I want the best of you for me. So when we sit down, I'm going to pull it out of you because my energy does that. And if you want to serve others like that too, then do your inventory. Start today. Start to write the things down that are serving you. Write the things down that aren't. Build a plan. If you're struggling with this, please just reach out. I'll put together an email. I'll shoot it out to those that reach out. Put something in the comments. Let me know a way that I can serve you that won't impact my life. Because I'll be honest with you, I charge a lot for my life coaching. What I'm giving away is free. But I'm willing to take the extra steps for some of you that are willing to join me in this growth mindset world that I believe we need to live in. There's war happening. There's chaos happening. The workforce sucks. Everybody's stressed. It's politics that we can't talk about anymore. It's you can't say this, you can't do that. And then I'm over here living the life I want. You can't tell me what to say. I don't really have to worry about what I say. What I say doesn't come from a negative space. So when I say these things, it doesn't bother people. I give off the energy of things. And I'm not saying I'm out there just running a bunch of racial slurs and saying all the words that nobody likes. I'm just saying you can't tell me what to say. You don't control me. I live one life and it's mine. And I'm going to live it to my fullest. And anybody that wants to be around me is just going to win because of it. And those are the people I surround myself with. 8 months ago, the company I was working at was looking for people, and the conversation went around, and it was like, do you know anybody that's looking for work? And I said, to be honest with you, I don't hang out with people like that. And I really don't. I had a friend enter into a situation and ended up working with me, but I don't hang out with people that need jobs. My 5, let's call it closest, is a clinical advisor for a mental health facility that does very well. Him and his wife do very well. They're close to us. Another one is a process engineer for a large company. Another one owns their own multi-million-dollar company. We are all of like-mindedness. We are all about living life. We schedule dinners and we do things and we enjoy each other and we have deep, good conversations. I was in a pool with one of our customers. Jeez, sorry about that. I was in a pool with one of our friends a month ago, and his son came outside, and man, for a good solid hour, we got into some really good, deep things about the current educational system and how he is adapting and how it makes him feel and the challenges that he's facing today, because I worry about the youth of America, the world really, but I live in America, so it has a bigger impact on me, and I worry drastically about the youth here. We are confusing our youth. But who am I to lead anybody into anything until I can lead myself to exactly where I want to be? I don't want to listen to somebody that says that they can do something and behind closed doors they can't. So I surround myself with those that are winning, and I give my winning to other people. But I do that with my inventory, and I check my inventory daily. The first 3 months of my inventory was tough to figure out. It's 4-step in recovery, and it was really more about the wrongdoings. I believe inventory needs to be about both. You need to know what sells and what doesn't if you want to run a business. And you need to have the data that backs it up. And I guarantee you don't have any data. A lot of the things that are causing your limiting beliefs were things from your childhood that had nothing to do with really anything besides your current perception of what had just happened to you. And it may be false, and that's okay. Anything that is making you feel like you're not good enough is false, period. I'm going to put that out there right now. You perceive that in the wrong way, because you were meant to be great. You were meant to leave behind a legacy. If you're watching this video, you were meant to serve others. And I hope you can join me in this movement. And I know that these videos get very scatterbrained sometimes. This is still new to me. I'm used to talking to somebody. And now I'm trying to share some information with you guys, and I may repeat myself, and I'm trying to keep a track. I have my whole logbook. I have my whole script. I have all of the things that I'm working on doing for this channel. But if you will just ride this wave with me and you will join me in this journey, I promise you, if you understand and implement the things that I am sharing in your own way, how you perceive them with a truth, you will create the most amazing change that you have ever had in your life. And you will be able to continue that change. This won't be no 6-week shredded diet kind of a thing. Now we're going to get in there on more of like a pro bodybuilder level, and we're going to start to trim the fat. We're going to go from the macros to the micros, and we're going to really get into your brain diet and understand what you're feeding your brain, and understand the things that need to be changed and moved, and understand what's next. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I look forward to this journey, and I hope that you hold on with me and that we get to interact. I love you. Have an amazing day.